YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be doing a Pistons rebuild. Dwane Casey has been hired as the new head coach for the Detroit Pistons, which is a great pickup if you ask me for the Detroit Pistons. So the Pistons should have something to be happy about. But other than that, guys, well, run one real quick update. Reason why I'm not doing a or I haven't done a Warriors offseason predictions yet, because I've just been kind of pushing it off to a day where I really have nothing else to do, because that video is going to be pretty boring. I mean, like, who really wants to watch me do a Warriors offseason predictions? I mean, I'm probably just going to be signing a bunch of bench players, and that'll be it. Like, that's basically going to be it. So that's why I haven't done that video yet. And then I still have some draft rebuilds I could do potentially, so no worries about that. Let's just remove this because this target list is ridiculous. But other than that, guys, let's just go ahead and see how we can make this Pistons team better. Dwane Casey, new head coach. We don't have our draft pick, so don't need to really worry about it. We have the 12th pick in the second round. I'm not even sure if that's accurate. I really don't care about the second round usually. So rookie signing, Chandler Hutchinson. That is actually a guy I've heard a lot about. So you know what? We'll go ahead and sign him just for the heck of it, because Chandler Hutchinson, I've heard that name a lot recently. Reggie Bullock has a team option, and if I'm the Pistons, I'm absolutely accepting that. Dwane Moreland, I think you could accept as well. I think he had one good game, I believe. If I'm 16, like at the end, 16 and 17 rebounds. Yeah, I remember his name there a little bit. So you know what, we can bring him on as well. So welcome back to the team, Dwane Moreland. And then qualifying offers. And of course, the Pistons don't have a ton of cap space, if any at all. Negative 30 mil in cap space. And as far as the cap holds go, Anthony Tolliver, we got James Ennis, Dwight Bucks, I don't know how you say his name, Jameer Nelson. Probably going to be renouncing all these guys. I probably don't really want to bring any of these guys back. But as far as what I want to do with this team right now, going forward for this Detroit Pistons team, is of course we are building around Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin. Now, I believe Andre Drummond is developing more and more of a three-point shot. So for the Pistons, I think that Andre Drummond will be able to stretch the floor a little bit next year, and Blake Griffin could work on it more as well. He can already kind of hit the three sometimes, so I don't think you really need to worry about these two as far as spacing, because I think they are developing there. Reggie Jackson, of course, is a decent point guard. He is a big part of what the Pistons team can do, so of course, you do want Reggie Jackson healthy for the whole season. That would help a lot. Ish Smith's a decent backup point guard. Reggie Bullock's going to be a nice small forward to use for this team. I think he's going to be the starting small forward, in fact, because he just hits the three, and that's exactly what you want if you're the Detroit Pistons. Stanley Johnson is a guy that I think I want to trade just because he just really hasn't worked out here. John Lewis has a terrible contract, I believe, 8 mil. And then Langston Galloway don't have the best contract. And then we still have Luke Kennard to develop a little bit, and of course we will be making some moves around Luke Kennard, as well as I might send him to the G League just so he can progress, and then he will absolutely be my starting two guard next year. So I might actually do that. But as far as the plan goes for this season, I think I'm only going to be trading Stanley Johnson here, maybe attach a bad contract with him just to see. Andre Drummond actually will accept an extension, so you know what, I might as well just offer him extension right now, to be honest. So 27 mil, he has not accepted quite yet, and it doesn't look like he's going to. Ish Smith, I mean, you could also give him an extension. Maybe I can just increase the money a little bit for Andre Drummond, because of course I think you're going to want to bring in Andre Drummond for the rest of his career, and he still hasn't really accepted. Oh well. But as far as free agency goes, I don't think we're going to be doing anything. I'm probably just going to be making him a trade for Stanley Johnson real quick, just so we can get him off the team. I think he needs a change of scenery. Maybe Dwane Casey would like to keep him around to see if he could develop Stanley Johnson a little bit more. But you know what? Just for the video, I'm going to go ahead and trade him. Alright, so we're going to be doing this trade, Stanley Johnson and John Lewis, for Beverly and Sam Dekker. The reason why I think this makes sense is the Clippers are quietly rebuilding while staying competitive, so they get another nice young piece in Stanley Johnson to come onto the team, see how he does for a year, maybe re-sign him. The Pistons also are in the middle of trying to progress their team a little bit more. They are in the middle of trying to compete, and they could use some pieces here and there. Beverly, I think, would be a nice fit for this Pistons team for one season, and then see how it goes after that. But I'm going to go ahead and make this trade go through, and I think that this is a good trade for both sides. But now for this first season, I think we're going to be starting Beverly next to Reggie Jackson. So Beverly can play defense and shoot the three. That's basically all we need him to do, especially since Luke Kennard will be in the G League. So I'm actually really liking how this team is looking. I think we're definitely a nice team going forward. And other than that, guys, I just kind of want to see. So we got Ish Smith coming off the bench. Langston Galloway could be the backup shooting guard, which is fine. Luke Kennard is going to be the G League. Chandler Hutchinson, I'm not sure what we're going to do with him yet. Sam Decker could be the backup small forward potentially. I want Reggie Bullock to start. Etwan Moreland, another nice young player that could be the backup. So maybe we should, let's probably sign a backup big man out here, just a decent one. Brooke Lopez, wait, did we? Oh, I offered. All right, so we got Andre Drummond back for on an extension, I guess. So Clint Capella and Greg Monroe. No, that didn't work out back then. I'm sure it's not going to work out now. What else could? Maybe Willie Reed off the bench wouldn't be a bad idea. 1.8 mil for one season. Derek Favors wouldn't be too bad off the bench, but of course you can't afford him. So Willie Reed, that will be fine. As far as a power forward, potentially maybe a small forward as well. Kyle Anderson, Royce O'Neal could be another decent pickup to come off the bench. And other than that, guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and call that good. I think that this team is fine how it is. Beverly goes down 2, or he goes up 2. Ish Smith goes down 2, and then everyone else is fine. All right, so this team, of course, we're not ready to compete for a championship quite yet, or the Pistons aren't ready to compete quite yet. They really need to figure out what they're going to do with Reggie Jackson. Is he the guy going forward, or do they want to go ahead and look another direction? I could see them trading Reggie Jackson potentially. I don't know. It's just something they could look into. Training camps, let's see how it's looking. Let's throw this at... Let's see, who should we throw this at? Just because... Etwan Moreland, potentially, just because I'm going to be sending Luke Kennard to the G League anyway. And now, let's go ahead and make the move. Luke Kennard, I want you to progress, come back really good. Sam Decker could be another guy we signed to the G League if we wanted to. Chandler Hutchinson, let's just leave it. I think Sam Decker is going to be a free agent after the season anyway, I believe. So let's just double check. Yes, he will be. So not going to know, or not sure how much money he's going to warrant. But other than that, we got Reggie Jackson, Patrick Beverly, Reggie Bullock, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, Willie Reed, Ish Smith, Langston Galloway, and Royce O'Neal. Not the best rotation by any means. The bench is not the greatest, but we do have Dwane Casey. I'm going to have Etwan Moreland come off the bench as well. And I think this team is decent for sure. I'm just not sure how it will look going forward. I'm just going to go ahead and leave no preference. Let's just see how this team does for one season. Maybe stop the trade deadline, move Reggie Jackson potentially. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully we can make the playoffs, because that would be the right step in the direction for the Detroit Pistons and Dwane Casey. Alright guys, we're at the NBA trade deadline, and it's not too late for us. We are a mediocre team right now, but I think it's time for this Pistons team to make the playoffs. And the Hornets are also not making the playoffs, which is probably making Kemba Walker even more unhappy. And the Hornets are like, you know what? It doesn't seem like we're going to be able to make the playoffs with this team. And we really don't want to let Kemba Walker walk for nothing. And we also are not going to want to pay him a bunch of money, because we're not really a team that's in position to win anytime soon. So I can see the Hornets potentially making a trade like this. They get Reggie Jackson to stay competitive a little bit. Chandler Hutchinson, Eric Moreland are two nice young players, and they get a second round pick as well. They unload Kyle Singler's contract, even though it's not big of a deal, not that big of a deal, but you know, the big benefit from this is they don't have to, they don't have to re-sign Kemba Walker to a fat contract. That wouldn't make sense for them, and they agree. So we're gonna make this trade go through. Well, it already went through. And just like that, we just made an upgrade at the point guard position, if you ask me. And now Kemba Walker is going to come to this team instantly and hopefully make this team even better. So hopefully this trade just benefited us a lot. So Kemba Walker, Beverly, Royce O'Neal, Reggie Bullock's coming off the bench now. I like Reggie Bullock starting, though, just because of that three-point shot. He just absolutely fits the mold of the NBA today. And then probably just run a 9-man rotation, just because we don't really need to have any of these guys get in the last few minutes. I wish I could, yeah, the bench still isn't that great, but it is what it is. Like I said, Royce O'Neal probably going to give you about 23, give Reggie Bullock 27. And yeah, so hopefully this helps out even more. Kemba Walker, Blake Griffin, absolutely. Let's just go to Kemba Walker, Blake Griffin right now. See how this team does together. See how these two do together. This is a team of a bunch of underachievers. Kim Walker, Blake Griffin have not achieved very much in their career so far. Kim Walker has barely made the playoffs very often. Blake Griffin, you know, hasn't gotten past the second round. So hopefully they can turn around for each other. We'll have to make a decision on if we want to re-sign Kemba Walker. And of course, Andre Drummond is there as well. So I think that just made our team a little bit better. Hopefully a playoff push is in fruition now. As far as the standings go, let's see how far we are out of the playoffs right now. Looks like Miami Heat are at the 8th seed. So we are about 3 games back right now. So it's not impossible to come back. I'm actually going to pull up the standings right here. And hopefully we can make the playoffs. Alright guys, so this was a very important game to actually get to the 8th seed. And as you can tell, Kemba Walker absolutely led the way. He's like, I'm not missing playoffs this year. So I think we are in the playoffs, but I could be wrong. And it looks like we are not. We actually fell right out. So Kemba Walker did everything he could. Andre Drummond wins Defensive Player of the Year, but other than that, it just wasn't enough. So Andre Drummond is on the All-NBA first team as well, so that's cool. And then Blake Griffin, All-NBA second team, and that's about it. All-Defensive first team. So disappointingly, barely missed the playoffs in a very terrible Eastern Conference. So that is not a good step for this first season, but it's all right. It's all right. I think that we'll be able to turn this team around a little bit more. I think that we're going to have a good offseason. We barely missed the playoffs like they have been the last couple of seasons. So hopefully Pistons just... I'm going to stay here for a long time, ready to talk contract. Dude, you're already signed through like 2022. Like, you don't need a contract extension right now. I mean, I don't even think they want to pay you 38 mil when you're 33 years old. Like, just chill out there, all right? But other than that, Kyle Singler is a team option we got to get rid of. And then we can keep Luke Kennard, of course, and Henry Elton we can decline as well. But as far as everything else goes, Dirk Nowitzki retires on the Washington Wizards. Very interesting. But league meetings, let's go ahead and reject all these. Draft lottery. Let's see what pick we have. The Pistons have their pick this year. We have the 13th pick. All right, so we barely, like I said, we didn't make the playoffs, so we could get a decent draft pick here. So let's go ahead and let's wait, actually. Do we have any fat, stupid contracts we could get rid of other than Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond? Doesn't look like. I mean, Langston Galloway, but that's still a tradable contract. But let's go ahead and make this selection at the 13th pick. Hopefully something great falls to us. Like we get a decent bench player or something. Like, because our bench was pretty horrible this year as well. So we could improve the bench quite a bit. That would help out also. So the 13th pick, Romeo Langford is still here. Wow. All right. So we actually might be taking Romeo Langford. And then... yeah, Ramiro Langford is the obvious choice here. So let's take Ramiro Langford to come play for the Detroit Pistons. He'll be coming off the bench for Luke Kennard. So I like that. Or could potentially play the small forward. I don't know. We'll figure it out. 6'6", maybe not quite big enough to play the small forward, but you know what? I might stick him there anyway. Ideally, you want your small forward to be 6'8", I think. That's the ideal position. 13th pick, Ramiro Langford, 76 overall. He could also come off the bench. Not a big deal. All-around shooting guard, ball handling. How is his 3-ball? I don't know much about Ramiro Langford. I just know that he's from K-State, I think? I could be wrong. I definitely not declining Luke Kennard. You got me messed up. I almost said the F word, but I didn't. Luke Kennard, back to the team. Qualifying offers, Willie Reed. We could bring back Willie Reed. He played decent. Sam Decker, probably not going to bring you back. So we'll go ahead and offer it, I guess. But Ramiro Langford, he's got a B- 3-point shot. How does he look at the small forward? He actually goes up. So could potentially start him alongside Luke Kennard. All right, I could live with that probably. And cap holds, as far as cap holds go, we got Kemba Walker is a free agent. Beverly probably won't be bringing him back. Reggie Bullock, I would love to bring him back. Willie Reed, Ish Smith, probably won't be bringing you back. None of you guys. And let's see how much money we have now. Negative $4 million cash space. They still have to pay Jason Smith, unfortunately. So still not a ton of cash space to work with. So I think we have no decision other than 5 more years. No way, dude. We'd be paying you when you were 40. No way. The Pistons would be dumb to give him a contract like that. But I think we have no other choice than to bring back Kemba Walker. So that's what we're going to be doing. Kemba Walker is going to demand a lot of money. And if you're the Pistons, I think you want to sign him probably to like a 3-year deal. Just to like kind of at the extension, like where Blake Griffin's contract ends. That's probably where you want Kemba Walker's contract to end. So I'll throw that at him. Reggie Bullock, I think, is a nice important piece to this team as well. So let's bring him back, hopefully 420. Blaze it. Other than that, let's see what else is out there. Centers, could we bring in Dwane Dedmon potentially as a backup center? JaVale McGee is there as well, but we can't bring him in. So, all right. So we got Kemba Walker, agree, and we can get all three of these guys, which is what I love to see. So Kemba Walker, Reggie Bullock, Dwane Dedmon, all welcome. You guys are all welcome to the team. Let's go ahead and sign all you guys real quick. And then we probably could use a backup power forward. Paul Millsap probably can afford you. Trey Lyles, Thaddeus Young. Could we afford Thaddeus Young off the bench? We cannot. All right, so that's kind of unfortunate. Let me look at this team. So we got Kemba Walker, Luke Kennard, Langston Galloway, Romeo Langford, Reggie Bullock, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, Dwane Dedmon. Okay, so could use a backup power point guard and a backup power forward. So let's see one or the other. Let's see what we can get. So Darren Collison is available, but we can't afford him. Ricky Rubio, Alfred Payton, George Hill, Rondo off the bench, DeLon Wright. Can't even afford him. Shabazz Napier, can't afford him. Andrew Ayers, Quinn Cook, can't afford any of these guys. All right, so we are not having a lot of money. Power forwards, Trey Lyles. No, that was not happening. Power forwards, Taj Gibson. Ursan potentially back to the Pistons. JaMychal Green, maybe. We could do that. Davis Bertans maybe as well. Let's see. Willie Reed is prepared to accept an offer. 2 years, $4 million. Yeah, definitely. Let's get let's go ahead and get Davis Bertans on this team just because he'll be nice off the bench. But other than that, I don't think we need to really make any other moves, guys. I think this is going to be the rotation going forward. It's going to be nice. I think this is going to be a good team. So Blake Griffin has a player option and Kemba Walker. Yeah, so their contracts will pretty much expire at the same exact time, which is what you would love to see. Andre Drummond, of course, his contract is going to live out a little bit longer, I think, because there's in 2021, Andre Drummond's contract is till 2022, which is fine. So basically, it's good. So I'm really loving where this team is headed. So I think we're building a pretty good team going forward. Training camps, let's see if there's any good training camps we could use, and hopefully, just hopefully, we could potentially make the playoffs this season. Luke Kennard, let's go ahead and give you some potential, even though you were just in the G League, probably not very happy about it. You usually aren't. Ron Baker is starting at shooting guard for us. That is how we're doing things. No, absolutely not. All right. So, basically, I'm going to go ahead and make this rotation. Kemba Walker, Luke Kennard, Romeo Langford, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, Dwane Dedmon, Reggie Bullock, Davis Bertans, and then probably Terrence Ross will round up this last spot, or maybe Thomas Robinson, something like that. So, I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the end of the season. Let's see how this team finishes out, and hopefully a playoff spot is a-coming. Once again, it seems like 2K doesn't really believe in the Dwane Casey Pistons mashup. So, you know what? Maybe that's just how 2K feels. I thought we'd built a pretty good team, but, you know, maybe 2K just like, nah, man, that ain't going to work for the future. But what do you guys think as an outside look? Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this Pistons team is potentially going to make the playoffs next year now that Dwane Casey is at the helm? Do you think Reggie Jackson and all of them are going to start playing pretty well? Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond are going to play well alongside each other. I think they will. I think Andre Drummond might start shooting threes next season, so that could potentially help them. But other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, leave a like if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you haven't already. But this is Crushables, and I'm saying peace.